Okay friends, today we're going to do some spag bol and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's going to be really easy. Come on. First things we're doing, I'm slicing up about 7 rashers of pork, well, streaky bacon, pork belly bacon if you live in America, which we're now going to bang into the frying pan and brown up. There you go. Right, we'll toss that around and have a look at it when it's cooked. So when you've browned off your bacon, you should end up with all this beautiful bacon fat. Right, we'll decant the bacon into a bowl. Then put your bacon fat back onto the hob and throw in, I've got 1 whole finely chopped white onion. We're just going to sweat that down and soften it nicely. And what we'll do, we'll just put a good bit of salt onto there. Not too much, just a few turns of this marvellous pink Himalayan salt. And about a teaspoon of demerara sugar. Right, give it 5 minutes. We'll check out what's going on with it. Right, so the onion's softening, so I'm just going to pop into it 2 cloves of crushed garlic. I'll just give it another minute while that settles into the onion. Then when the onion's pretty much on its way to softening, I've got a good couple of handfuls of chopped up mushroom, which I'll mix in, and now we'll just leave it again to soften for a few more minutes. Right, so when you've softened up the mushrooms as well, decant it into another bowl. Try not to spill it everywhere like I usually do. Real cooking. When you've done that, put the pan straight back onto the heat. Right, so what we're going to use today, we've got a pound of good beef mince, the same that I use for the burgers, and I've got a pound of pork mince. Now what I've done, I've shredded it all up. It's mince, but I've separated it into its individual strands so you don't have any lumps. Obviously we're making spag bol, not burgers, so we don't want it to be all lumpy. I haven't seasoned it yet, so bang it into the dry pan. And then, because it's been sat for a little while, just get into it, straight into it. The beef is 25% fat, because I like fatty goodness, because that gives you good flavour, and the pork is 5%. Just keep it moving around a bit. I'm going to bang some salt in there, just season it up with a bit of salt. Not too much, just a good turn of salt. That should do. Keep chopping at it, chop it up like that. And we're just going to brown it off a bit. I am not going to strain away or drain away any of the oil, any of the fat that comes out of it, because again, like I say, I like the fat. Right, it's only been a minute and you can see that the mince is starting to brown up nicely. But I'm going to help it along with some OXO cubes, which I don't know if you've got these all over the world. Basically, and this is how to open them as well, people don't know this. An OXO cube is basically a beef stock cube. And it comes in a little square like this, and you squash it gently in your fingers, and then all you do, peel off the corner, and you can sprinkle it out. It comes out as like a real nice powder. I'm going to put 3 of those into this mince, because it just makes it good, and yeah, that's it. Right, we'll carry on browning it off. Right, we're nice and browned up here, we've got everything separated proper. I haven't overcooked it, so the meat has still got a good amount of that juice in, which is what you want. So into there, I'm going to pop the cooked bacon from before, scrape out that bowl so we get all that bacon goodness. All that onion and mushroom, get all that in as well. Give it a good mix up. And look at that, that is awesome already. Right, and into there we're going to put some of this bolognese sauce. Now I've just bought Aldi's cheapo bolognese sauce. Often in the past I would use nothing but passata, but quite honestly this is 60p for a jar. So I'm going to spice it up a bit, you know what I mean? You just want to get the cheapest bolognese sauce you can get. Stir it in, I'll probably put a bit more into that. We'll check it out in a second when I get it to the right consistency. So I have got another one that I'm going to top up into this. Right, there you go. I'm off to knock it down now onto lowest heat, and I'm off to just season it up a bit. I'm going to put a good tablespoon of oregano in. Just dried oregano, about that much. Sprinkle it in through your fingers. Nice. And I'm going to put about a teaspoon of basil, dried basil again. About that much. Sprinkle that in. Just stir it in, and now we can just leave it indefinitely, really. It's not going to damage it at all. You could leave it and reheat it the next day, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to leave it now, probably for about the next half hour or so, while we sit down and have a laugh with kids. And then we shall get the spaghetti going, and we'll see this in its final glory. Right, friends, so it's had about 30 or 40 minutes, just sat chilling. Jack, do you want some?
Oh, yes, please.
How much do you want?
Quite a bit.
Look at that. Ollie? How much do you want?
A bit, please.
About that for now?
Yes, please.
You sure?
Yeah.
Right, Babs, before you start kicking off, I know that in Italy you would put the spaghetti into the bolognese sauce, but we're not in Italy, we're in England. So we'll just bang that there, ignore that dollop. It's like a massive animal, it's just gonna, isn't it? Right, so, look at that, man, come on. I actually have to agree, Babs. The Spanish, disculpe, lo siento. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The Italian way, Bella, would be to mix it up and you end up with all the spaghetti mixed up with it, which is cool. But we're in England, so anyway, that's how you do it. Friends, we'll try it. Seriously. Friends, have a go at spag bol. If you don't eat this in the country you're in, have a go at it. It's really easy. And if you have a go at it, if you do eat it in our country, do it my way. At least have a go with it. It's really good. And cheap. Better than all the crap you buy in the Italian restaurants, and it's cheaper. This cost of living crisis, don't let it get you down. Cook it yourself, cheaper at home, it's better. You know what's in it. I'm gonna try and be like a mafioso now and get it all over my chin and all over my face. Enjoy it, friends. Bye-bye, friends, bye-bye.